Trump and his company being investigated for bank fraud, Manhattan prosecutors suggest. Commercial real estate loan/tax fraud is stupidly easy to prove but rarely prosecuted because it mostly affects rich people. I wish we had a properly staffed IRS which could go after these sorts of obvious tax frauds. We would never have had to deal with the President Trump. Trump learned this criminal activity from his own father. Cohen already laid out the scheme. One set of valuations for the government to reduce tax liability, another set of valuations for banks and insurance companies to get more favorable rates. Trump either committed bank fraud or tax fraud. Both is also possible, and likely, but neither is not possible. Just another headline that will go unnoticed when any other president. This would be the news of the week at minimum. And Deutsche Bank just started reviewing Trump's personal banker. Interesting. The AP is reporting that the DA is targeting the Trump Organization for protracted criminal conduct. Keep in mind that the Trump Organization is very small and is basically just Trump, his kids, and a CFO. They are all directly being criminally investigated, about fucking time. And Kushner with 666 Park Fifth Avenue as well. Fucking money laundering amateur mafia wannabe Sopranos fucks. Back when a Manhattan grand jury subpoenaed Donald Trump's tax returns, in a move that led to a Supreme Court case, it confirmed that the grand jury was targeting Trump for criminal indictment on state charges in New York. This is bad for Trump since state charges cannot be pardoned or made to disappear by Bill Barr. They don't have to directly go for Trump. They can just start taking down all the people around him. As they get closer and closer, he'll fall apart. Once Trump finally goes down under his massive pile of crimes, I hope every American holds their neighbors and family accountable for their political opinions that has led to this unmitigated disaster. The entire world is a worse place as a result of this presidency, and the individuals who enabled this should not be allowed to forget the consequences of their decisions. I swear it's the tax fraud that'll get him. The government seems to take that more seriously than anything. Enter Al Capone. The October surprise arrest warrant for Donald J. Trump. The absolute insane fraud-ridden crooked nature of Trump's business dealings will eventually come out. The sheer magnitude and the number of people implicated will be staggering and difficult for people to grasp. I'm so shocked. Is what I wish I could say. Dope. Can the state issue a warrant to the president? State felonies cannot be pardoned by any president. Fuck. Yes. Am I the only one that thinks this is actually a really big deal? Financial crimes like this are black and white, and once documents are obtained require no witnesses to prosecute. Always follow the money. What I don't understand is why his kids seem to be immune. I mean, I guess I kinda understand the Trump thing because he's the literal president, which comes with tremendous power. But still, his kids are just random fucking people. They don't actually have power. There's absolutely no reason that some prosecutor can't just launch charges against them and lock them the fuck up. When will the RICO charge come out against the GOP? Elect Biden and prosecute Trump? That's the dream. Make it happen, America. Given that Trump would rather start another civil war than go to jail, I really kind of wish all these investigations and his horrible poll numbers were kept on the down low. That way he wouldn't see his impending doom coming until it hit him in the face. I know that this might come as a shock, but I can't find any reference to this on Fox News. But there is a top-line story about Obama not endorsing AOC. If you're interested, nothing would make me happier than a bunch of cops outside the White House, cuffs in hand. But who are we kidding? If Trump gets wind of anyone saying arrest and Trump in the same sentence, he would be on a plane to Russia so fast the country would get whiplash. Would it be easier to list what he is not being investigated for? Unsurprising. What is surprising is how a company can have such a long track record of open fraud, reported widely in international press, resulting in numerous settled litigations showing clear evidence of a pattern of malfeasance, and never get actively prosecuted until one of them literally becomes President of the United States. What do you have to do to get charged with bank fraud in New York? It's been so obvious for so long that Trump is committing bank and insurance fraud all over the place, it's not even funny. Great story, but seriously, fuck this website and fuck every website like it. Upon loading, uBlock stopped over 400 trackers, and the site still auto-played their shitty video and then the pop-up over the story trying to tell me what to read next. Guess I am blocking them at the network level along with the rest. Assholes. TikTok. Ken Starr investigated the Clintons, while Bill was president, for 4 years over one business deal. Trump is a fraud, period. The fact he doesn't even deserve to be president is just the tip of the iceberg. You know what's about to happen? In 3 to 7 days, no one will remember this, and it will never have an impact on Trump or anyone else's lives. Source: Panama Papers. Of course, the Trump administration is the most corrupt in modern history. The Senate should be held accountable for not eliminating him when they had the chance. Instead, they kept silent, all for their own personal gain. The Republican Party is a shell of their former selves and an embarrassment to the American people. Each one of them should be voted out. They have failed at their duties as public servants. I solved the case. They did it. In his February 2019 testimony to Congress, Cohen alleged that the president had inflated his total assets when it served his purposes, and deflated his assets to reduce his real estate taxes. This should have been reason enough to open a congressional investigation that would have led to his impeachment, and Senate would have been complicit in his crimes if they failed to follow through. Bank fraud. Trump. I thought he only laundered money. Yawn. Maybe it's just me, but these constant stories and articles mean absolutely nothing at this point until something's actually done about it. Otherwise I can't help but roll my eyes and think, and nobody will face punishment. Rinse and repeat for the past 4 years. Damn, I'm still trying to process the Epstein connection, and the terrible economy, and the schools having no direction, and New York State having to do the work SDNY feds cannot do to bar running interference for Trump. One day there is going to be a reckoning. I think I have made about 50 past comments on the legal issues Trump is facing when no longer president. Wire fraud is a federal crime, but while Barr heads the FBI, it ain't happening. Trump knows how much trouble he is in. It's why he will do anything to remain president. Trump released his 2019 financials quietly last Friday. It reveals that his corporate shell game includes 1,089 shell corporations. Experts say this is in order to dodge taxes and hide money. https://s3 Amazon AWS com/storage Citizens4thix org/wp content/upload/2020/07/31221516/Trump Donald J. 2020 Annual 278-1 PDF. The day I see Donald J. Trump in handcuffs will be the day that I will literally put my foot in my mouth. This sub has been banking on false hopes and dreams for 4 years without any results. The rich elites will never be punished for their crimes. Grow up and move on, or prove me wrong and tear down the system that enables this kind of behavior. My grandpa is this really wealthy, conservative guy who used to be a tax lawyer. Because he actually has a backbone, he switched parties after being appalled at Bush Jr. He enjoys nothing more than seeing people who think they are above the law get punished for fraud, as rare as it is. It's really interesting to hear his take on Trump. This ended up being rambly. Oh well, love ya Gramps.